side, you will recognise, of course, Riyad Mahrez, their big new signing. Jason Denayer is back from a loan at Galatasaray. Alexander Zinchenko got some game time last season. Claudio Bravo as well. And the likes of Nemecha and Diaz were involved. Phil Foden at the bottom as well. Have been involved in the first team last season. There's a few names that you will learn about as the game goes on. The likes of Nemecha and Harrison and Diaz and Humphreys, who won't be playing out there as a centre-half.
No, I think the big thing for me is looking at young Phil Foden. I think the big things are expected of this young man. I think he played such an integral part for I think it was the England under-17s, wasn't it, when they won the World Cup? But for me, David Silva can't keep going on. I think he's into his 30s now. He's probably got maybe one more season really at the peak of his powers. So it'll be interesting to see if this young man can stake a claim for like a first-team regular spot.
Well, there's the Liverpool side named by Jurgen Klopp, and as you can see, it is very, very strong. The first involvement, of course, pre-season for Gini Wijnaldum, after he's come back from the slight injury and illness that's held him back so far. Chance for Curtis Jones again in a more advanced position tonight in, as we say, a very strong Liverpool side. Joe Gomez significantly at centre-half tonight.
Yeah, again, it's one of these situations that we're not quite sure where his best position is at this moment in time. I still think at this moment in time it's at fullback, but I think there is this opportunity to actually come in as a centre-back, especially with the injury to Joel Matip.
We are, of course, reliant on our hosts in the USA for the graphics, and as you saw, Mohamed Salah's name wasn't quite right there. Sorin Stoica, and that's why the surface doesn't look the great. We are...
Tell you what, George, she got around the pitch a bit, didn't she?
She's an active girl. You name a Taylor Swift song?
Not a clue.
It's Jason Denayer going back towards Claudio Bravo, but that's why the pitch has been dug up somewhat. And of course they are preparing for the new NFL season, where the Jets will play here one week and the Giants the next. That is just over a month away now. The pre-season games start in a few weeks' time, and guarantee that surface will look better by then. Manchester City, who of course played against Borussia Dortmund on Friday night and were beaten by 1-0 by a penalty. Liverpool played Dortmund on Sunday, and now these two go head-to-head. Manchester City, after this game, head off down to Miami. They've been based in Orangeburg in New York State, preparing for this game. Liverpool, of course, flew up from Charlotte. There was a little delay to their flight, but all present and correct. That's Zinchenko. Started in central midfield tonight. He, of course, was primarily seen as a left-back last season, but he is more of a central midfielder. Run by Riyad Mahrez has started pretty deep so far for Manchester City. The big new acquisition for Pep Guardiola. Lots of stories about him over the summer. He signed that new deal, of course, to stay with Manchester City. With the challenge, here's Lallana. Milner on the outside. Here's Curtis Jones. Now Andrew Robertson. Wijnaldum. Just see that there seems to be very little give in the surface for the ball. It's very springy off the surface. Played on worse.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Van Dijk just overhit that.
Not quite found his range yet as Virgil. Just a couple of passes he's played straight into touch. I think that's what the manager's smiling at.
He's also got his cap on tonight to protect him from the rain. Milner. Lallana. Nemecha. That Manchester City have done is work very hard on what they do with their academy. We've seen them at 23s and 18s level, always strong. Bringing players in, they brought players in today. Claudio Gomez arrived from Paris Saint-Germain a little earlier in the day. He has been training with them, but it was official today, and he's on the bench tonight. Likes of Adrien Bernabé as well, has arrived from Barcelona. But as you say, they're really big names that have been at the World Cup. Aren't back yet. Sane and Bernardo Silva are here and on the bench. One with a familiar figure of Joe Hart. I expect to see them in the second half. Manchester City actually, well, Liverpool are playing a lot of pre-season games. Manchester City are playing these games in the States and then one more. It's Mahrez challenged by Wijnaldum. Just settling into life in Manchester, the Algerian is Jones. Robertson. Again, you can just see there that it's lively, the ball, isn't it?
Credit to Man City as well, because they're lively as well. I think very much in the style of Pep Guardiola, that shutting spaces down from high up the pitch, pressing, putting Liverpool players under pressure. Possibly the reason why that Virgil van Dijk and a couple of others have just, a bit like that one, James Milner kicked it straight out to touch. Pressure on the ball. It's a foul throw.
Jones with the header. Here's Wijnaldum. Forward by Klein. Might break for Lallana. Jason Denayer steps in and knocks the ball away. Zinchenko, that's Denayer, who's certainly started at left back for Manchester City tonight. Whenever we've seen him in the past, he's been a central defender. He can play in central midfield as well. Don't really normally see him as a left back, but Manchester City have got Cameron Humphreys and Eric Garcia, their under-18 player of the year, at the heart of their defence. Or is that three at the back, Gary? You can work it out.
Yeah, we've got three at the back and loading the midfield and playing just one up front.
Forward by Bravo. Joe Hart on the bench there. Will remain to be seen how much longer he does stay at Manchester City. Van Dijk just lost his footing under a little bit of pressure from Nemecha. Phil Foden can't keep it. He was the back page lead of the New York Post this morning, Phil Foden. He was seen as the big name for this game. I think certainly from a Manchester City point of view he was anyway. Maybe that's the only person they got an interview with. And he was the big story, talking about how he is the heir apparent to David Silva, as you mentioned. Robertson just had to sort his feet out. Gomez. Denayer will go back towards his goalkeeper Bravo. Certainly not full in the MetLife Stadium tonight. Decent attendance in though. Time, of course, we played in a baseball stadium in Yankee Stadium. Super atmosphere for that game. Into penalties, of course, that night. Bravo forward. By Brahim Diaz, who is very, very highly thought of at Manchester City, the youngster who was brought in from Malaga. It's Diaz again, Klein with a challenge, on by Zinchenko. So come towards Luke Bolton. Mahrez. And Lallana, tidy feet, able to bring the ball away. Storage. It's a lovely ball, but couldn't quite find Gini Wijnaldum. Zinchenko. Bolton. Decent tempo about it. Always good in a pre-season game when you see this level of tempo. Robertson towards Loris Karius to put his foot through it. Header is by Humphreys. Fabinho. Robertson again. Lovely take by Klein. We'll get it back here. He needs support now. It's a decent challenge on him. Phil Foden, who stepped in, and Nemecha can't keep it. Foden, Diaz. Good from James Milner. Won the first tackle and made sure he got to the second as well.
Yeah, showed good determination, didn't he? Wanted to win that ball in the middle of the park, win your challenges. Shown by example, Liverpool captain for tonight. Not really got going, Liverpool, at this moment in time.
Nice take by Mahrez. Nemecha to his left. Bolton to the right. Here's Nemecha. Saved by the goalkeeper. And the follow-up goes wide. There are appeals for a penalty. As Foden was bundled over and then Nemecha went down. Referee says corner.
Well, Liverpool get caught open. Joe Gomez is just a little bit off Nemecha. I think it's a vital challenge by Fabinho in the end. Questions of a penalty. I think he just sticks his leg in. Fabinho just does enough to put Nemecha off.
An important save by Loris Karius. Mahrez with the corner. They come off Robertson. Bolton going the long way around Curtis Jones and doing it well. Karius goes long. Adam Lallana won the ball very physically. be difficult for Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp as they work on their pre-season. Guardiola's not got much to work with, really, has he, at the moment?
Oh, but what he's got enthusiasm, he's got youth.
And what he's also got is players that are used to playing in his system, just seem to run from top to bottom of the club.
I think if you, certainly the first 13 minutes or so, Man City probably started the better of the two teams. Best opportunity so far.
Mahrez. I think we all realised in January would end up at Manchester City. They showed their hand in the transfer window. It was a little late from Fabinho. Jack Harrison, the player who was caught. He was actually playing his football in America, Jack Harrison, for New York City when he signed for Manchester City.
It's a home game for them, then, isn't it?
Well, they play it. They don't play here.
Oh, no, yeah, no, yeah.
Spent the second half of last season on loan at Middlesbrough. Mahrez with the take, and no one really went for him.
Wasn't a bad ball in, was it? Like low with a little bit of pace on it.
Guardiola's always restless on the touchline, isn't he? Always pacing and wandering around. Jurgen Klopp always tries to stay quite passive until
we go 3 up. And he's got, like,
well, then he gets angry, you know, until he gets angry about something or sees something he doesn't like. Normally he'll stand quite motionless, won't he? Not too happy at the moment, though. You saw him shaking his head a moment ago, and Riyad Mahrez has another free kick here for Manchester City to deliver into the penalty area. Come off Milner, Karius is coming. He's got a rather cheap free kick there as the Liverpool goalkeeper. Seems to actually come over the top of his own player.
I thought he came over the top of Virgil van Dijk. He was very assertive. It was a good punch as well, good distance, good clearance.
Fabinho under pressure, but there's too much of a shirt tug on him. Mahrez is just getting a little too physical with the Brazilian. Milner. Gomez. It's a high press from Manchester City, and they are just making Liverpool struggle a little at the moment. Let's do it quicker.
Yeah, I think that's the case. You'll have to try and beat that press. You can't beat that press by just lopping it about at the back. You've got to zip it in, and movement's got to be better.
That's another free kick. The referee just wanted to keep a lid on it. There's been 2 or 3 fairly meaty ones so far. Another decent ball that's delivered, and Denier was unmarked at the far post. Couldn't sort his legs out to deliver the ball towards the goal, though.
But you see it so often these days. I don't know why players don't go and try and head it first. I think it's got to be easier to put your head on that and then try a scissor kick. Probably just lost the flight of the ball because the ball just came behind Adam Lallana.
Milner. On to Jones. And he made sure he hit the target, but didn't really get the quality on the shot that would trouble Bravo.
Well, promising. I think he's been involved early on again, young Curtis Jones. I think the overlap from Andrew Robertson gave him the opportunity to come inside on his right foot. Just wasn't convincing enough with the right foot shot. Idea was good though.
Harrison forward. Lovely take by Zinchenko. Diaz is the Ukrainian again. Spotted playing for Ufa in Russia. Denea. All the way through to Karius. Gomez. It's well won again. Foden it was, but Fabinho had to step in. Jones, Fabinho. Now Wijnaldum. There's a little bit of space on the far side here. Ryan has to go on his own and trying to run Jack Harrison. He got across and made the challenge. The linesman couldn't decide, could he? Waited for the referee and then said goal kick.
Well, better from Liverpool to create that one-on-one situation with Nathaniel Klein down the right-hand side. I thought it could have been a corner.
Nathaniel Klein certainly thought it was. Certainly I think a few of the Manchester City bench thought that was a push.
Well, there was only two hands in the back of Luke Bolton from Andrew Robertson.
Wijnaldum for Klein. Van Dijk for Jones. Milner. Sturridge helps it on. And towards Lallana. Only half away by Garcia. Wijnaldum. Now Klein. Now Sturridge. The ball just ran away from him and Zinchenko was able to make the challenge. And Diaz has already made a lot of ground there. Nemecha is very, very quick. It was a right old scrap for it. Joe Gomez certainly wasn't giving it up.
Well, just for a second, he just got wrong side, did Joe Gomez of the matchup. He's got the pace to recover. The young centre back just there, just got caught wrong side. Had the ball been played into the path of the matchup, he was through on goal. Gomez could have done nothing about it. Didn't give it up though, all credit to him. Kept going, kept fighting for it.
Hamburg born Lucas Nemecha. His brother Felix is in the academy as well. For the players to take on some water.
Hydration break.
Very well done, Gary. You're learning. Do you ever stop for a hydration break?
I can't recall, no.
Not even when you sort of like played in the
It was funny,
World Cup challenges or anything like that.
We were when we were running, we used to let you drink water.
Really?
how times have changed, yeah. contact there. I think he'll be okay, the young man.
He is dynamite fast. Lucas Demecha. Something that you will get if you play for Guardiola. He's very sort of physical, grabs his players and shoves them around when he's talking to them. Riyad Mahrez will just be getting used to that. Some instructions for Zinchenko and Garcia as well.
Well, I think a lot of the coaching stuff that, you know, certainly can be done on the field. That a lot of the best coaches, just a couple of words, a couple of little ideas the manager wants to put in your head sometimes is the more beneficial of the two options.
Little loose from Denayer. Milner. Quite got that right. Jones will chase. Away by Cameron Humphreys. Bolton. Zinchenko. And back towards Humphreys again.
Certainly been a lively opening 20-odd minutes or so. I think both teams zipping it about. Good intensity from both sets of players. Not easy in this humid heat, and obviously they've trained this morning as well, which sometimes just deadens your legs a little bit.
Yeah, warmer in England than New York today, but the storms that New York has been having that are set to continue for another couple of days are very different to those that we see in the UK, although some of those we've had in the UK aren't too far away. Physical challenge from Milner on Bolton. Lovely switch by Mahrez. Jack Harrison had already decided what he was doing in his mind before the ball arrived at him. Dare I say that would be a foul in the Premier League?
I think it would be. I think young Bolton knew what was coming as well. I think you could see out of the corner of his eye that James Milner was advancing. Not seen an awful lot of Daniel Sturridge so far in early stages of this game.
26 minutes in, and really all we speak of is a Curtis Jones shot, which was rather tame and comfortably seen by Claudio Bravo. Certainly been snappy into the tackles of Manchester City.
Well, I think Pep Guardiola mentioned it in the Dortmund game. I think he thought that Dortmund kind of bullied them a little bit in their opening game. But certainly, see there's another one from Adam Lallana. Both sets of players are not held back, have they?
They haven't been shrinking violence, either of them so far.
Not been like a pre-season friendly, I think. The intensity is certainly there. I think when you play for both clubs, and certainly with the characteristics of both managers, I think you've got to be fully committed.
I'm not entirely sure what Pep Guardiola was upset with the referee about there, but he was certainly upset. Maybe the Lallana challenge he felt was a little over physical. Bolton's done really well to ride the challenge of Robertson. Just wonder had he gone down when the initial challenge was made, because Robertson didn't look to get any ball, but he stayed up a long time there, Bolton.
Well, he showed tremendous pace here, Bolton. I tell you what, player of more experience and a little bit more savvy and maybe a little bit more forward thinking. All day long they would have made contact with Andrew Robertson. 100% they would have made contact. All credit to the young man. He tried to get round the defender, he tried to stay on his feet.
Harrison. Too high for Demecha. Robertson puts it behind. They're certainly being tested here, Liverpool.
decent ball in. Virgil van Dijk maybe just a little bit casual and getting back in there. Maybe should have been back there a little bit quicker.
That's come off Milner. Karius is coming. Not the best clearance in the world, but the follow-up from Harrison goes straight back to Loris Karius. That's off for Jones, but Bravo's a long way from his home. Bolton will go back to the goalkeeper. Curtis Jones looks up at the cloud-filled New York sky.
The idea was right from Karius. It was a decent ball, wasn't it, from the clearance. All credit to Claudio Bravo. Really, start position was excellent. Saw the danger, dealt with it. Man City got possession again.
Alexander Zinchenko. We found it a little too hot to handle as he tried to take the ball in. Milner. Van Dijk's given that away, and all of a sudden it's a 3 against 3. And Van Dijk's had a little kick there and probably, well, I would say probably will go into the book, but the referee will maybe do him a favour. No, he did decide.
It was a booking, wasn't it? He knew what he was doing, Virgil van Dijk. He got wrong side. Professional foul. He's not had the best of starts in this game as Virgil van Dijk.
Interested to see where he fits in, Riyad Mahrez, to this City side. Alexander Zinchenko is really lining one up here, and he's certainly got hold of it. Just dragged it a little. You could see his intention, wasn't it? It was all very deliberate.
It's a long way out. I think he's got to make a better striker than that if he's going to beat Karius from that sort of distance.
I haven't seen anyone score from that sort of shot since the days of Johnny Method.
Isn't he from the past?
Remember him at Forest?
Yeah.
He used to bang them in, didn't he? 40-yard free kicks.
26, it looked 46. That ball head.
In the 80s, he was very, very famous for scoring free kicks from a long way out and hitting them like absolute rockets.
It's hard for people to realise that, you know, Nottingham Forest were a top-class side these days as well.
Well, they were the rivals to you, and then you gave them the biggest going over ever, didn't you? In '88. Scored, didn't you, Gary?
Some would say yes.
Some would say.
Yeah.
The record books say you scored in that game.
Yeah.
Here's Curtis Jones for Liverpool. That's a lovely ball. Milner. First chance for Liverpool to open Manchester City up here. Milner's cross charged down by Cameron Humphreys.
Yeah, better from Liverpool. Good overlap from James Milner.
Cameron Humphreys was playing for England under 17s when he was 14. And part of Manchester City's academy for a long, long time. He has played in the first team, albeit very briefly. Milner with Liverpool's corner. Here comes Lallana, stabs at it. Wasn't far away, Bravo was certainly scrambling.
I think the one thing that the manager came away with after the Borussia Dortmund game was the fact that they did the set plays well. So that chance comes from another corner.
If that's a fraction the other side, that's in, because Bravo doesn't get there, does he?
No, I don't think he sees it early enough, does he, Bravo? It comes through a real crowd of bodies.
Liverpool's turn to try and turn the screw a little. Garcia, Humphreys, Zinchenko, Lallana hunting. It's a foul by Milner on Mahrez. Play will go on because City have the ball. In steps Gomez. Living the ball well, aren't they? Until they lose it there. Sturridge. Good challenge by Garcia. Foden. Not entirely sure that Harrison wanted it there.
It was one of these passes that would have been better than maybe looking forward a little bit earlier.
Jones. Well, his second goal at beating Claudio Bravo, and again it's a little too close to the goalkeeper.
A decent effort on his left foot. Again, it's not the best strike in the world, but all Liverpool's best things have really come down that side with young Jones.
It's a long time ago now, but you do remember that Daniel Sturridge was a highly promising youngster in Manchester City's academy. He decided to head off elsewhere. Jurgen Klopp aghast here because Daniel Sturridge has gone down, and he's hopeful he's not going to lose another player to injury. You'd hope not.
Well, I don't think it's anything to do with that challenge. I think it's maybe just he wants some tape for his socks.
There you go, that's exactly what he wants.
Bumping his shin pads.
Liverpool have a free kick. Milner and Robertson are over it. Van Dijk, Wijnaldum, Gomez, Fabinho are those who will make the runs. Decent run as well. It was made by Gomez, it just evaded him. Headed away by Humphreys.
If anything, I think he just got in there a little bit too early, did Joe Gomez. It was a little bit behind them.
Milner again. Challenges by Brahim Diaz. Lallana, Klein, Adam Lallana again. Milner makes a run one way. Fabinho, it's a lovely little scoop for Klein. Milner, dangerous looking ball. It was well headed away by Garcia. Zinchenko stretches to clear. That's Lallana, that's Milner. Scoop towards Sturridge, it's a miscue. And the follow-up shot in the end was high and wild from Gini Wijnaldum.
Well, he just snatched at it a little bit at the edge of the box, did Gini Wijnaldum. Ideas right from James Milner, get it back in there early. It's not the best clearance by Humphreys. You know, in a defensive situation like that, sorry John, you just want distance really, as opposed to anything else.
They've been straight through the posts. The NFL posts are up. It's always a game and a fixture with edge, and even with differing sides, it's that way again tonight. Bravo put a couple of extra clubs on that one. Needed a lob wedge rather than a 7-iron. Guardiola do spend probably about 90% of his down days during the summer playing golf. He's a keen golfer, yeah? Oh, he's a golf nut. Spent much of the time playing with Tommy Fleetwood as well, from Southport. A couple of decent majors recently. It's a decent ball for Nemecha. A lot to do if he's going to make his way to goal from there. Supporters arriving, it's another free kick.
Well, I think that just shows you the difference between a forward-thinking player and young Luke Bolton earlier on, more a defensive-minded player. He looks for the contact, does the matchup. It's a free kick. But he's cuter.
Karius has already made one important save in this game. I don't think we're going to see Zinchenko have a bang from here. Mahrez has been very deliberate in his placement of the ball. You would think it's too far over for him to shoot from that. He's going to have a pop, you know. Comfortable for Karius. have certainly stepped it up in the last 5-10 minutes. Look a lot better than they did early on in the game, where Manchester City really did seem to knock them out of their stride. They've certainly managed to claw their way into this game. Impressively slick, Manchester City. Van Dijk. Lallana's touch for Wijnaldum. Isn't the best pass for Sturridge, but Sturridge has managed to get it back. Humphries stretched and cleared. Milner. Robertson can't quite help it on. Zinchenko certainly does put it forward with purpose towards Nemecha again. It's good defending from Gomez, although the pitch didn't do Nemecha any favours, just seemed to give way under his foot.
He was nice and strong though, Gomez, wasn't he? Knew the contact was coming, knew he was last man as well, had to make that challenge, had to win it.
3 shots to 2 in terms of effective shots. I guess that doesn't include Gini Wijnaldum's effort.
There's been a lot of good play as well, though. A lot of slick, crisp passing. Just not really the end product at this moment in time.
Zinchenko again. Fabinho reads that one.
Just there, that's where Liverpool have to be better.
That's Milner. This is Wijnaldum. Support is arriving. It's Klein. Touch, cross, man arriving, Jones. And we'll feel that's the best chance of the 3 that he's had in this first half to get himself on the score sheet.
Well, he does exceptionally well because his starting position is really, really good. Humphries has just caught a little bit ball watching, and the delivery is good from the right-hand side from Klein. Jones just gets that head in front. It's a chance, but it's a difficult one. He's had a good opening, 40-odd minutes or so. Been involved on numerous occasions.
He's had a good few weeks, hasn't he? Always talk about when the young players come up and play with the seniors, and the most important thing for them is not to look out of place, to look comfortable, to look calm, to look confident as well.
I think that's the biggest thing, John, to be confident.
Certainly Curtis Jones has had all those attributes in pre-season so far for Liverpool. Here he is again. It's another decent run, and he's gone down, and the referee says no penalty. Certainly worth another look. So if he landed on the ball awkwardly with his wrist there or something, that's the problem.
Well, first and foremost, I didn't think it was a penalty. He's obviously landed awkwardly on his wrist, hasn't he? When you're saying that, you've got to say he's stood his hand, that's what it is. There is a tug at the shirt, just there, he just stands on his wrist. You see his hand goes down, just there.
Humphries got a bit of ball, didn't he, there?
But there was a tug of the jersey there as well, though. Whether it was sufficient for Jones to go down or not is open to debate, I'm sure.
Certainly as the challenge was made, Humphries leans across him, stretches his right leg, and certainly got a touch of the ball, didn't he? Whether he went through the man to get the ball and just knocked him off his stride, I think you're fairly content that it's not a penalty.
I don't think there was too many claims from the Liverpool players.
Polite question from Adam Lallana. Bolton. Zinchenko. Mahrez runs in behind, but is offside.
Wasn't the hardest decision the referee's assistant will have to make.
Not entirely sure what's up with the referee here. He's fiddling about in the middle of midfield. Final minute of the first half. Curtis Jones has just wandered off to some more running repairs. Some would say fussy, but some would say he's absolutely right. The ball didn't go outside the penalty area. Well, he's just sticking to the rules.
For me, that should be a free kick. That's one of the rules I would change.
This players deliberately standing if they're under pressure.
Oh, exactly, yeah.
Was dummy unable to find Curtis Jones. It's been stretched by Fabinho. Puts Liverpool on the front foot. Jimmy Wijnaldum. Robertson.
I was going to say earlier on, that's where Liverpool have got to be a little bit more incisive, that when they win the ball, that transition that coaches talk about from defence into attack, they've got to be a little bit quicker, a little bit more incisive for me.
I don't think Jack Harrison could certainly contest that decision as he went down sort of holding his wrist after that ball struck him on the hand. You see as he's carrying it a little awkwardly now as he runs across. Liverpool take it quickly. Sturridge, not find Lallana. We are right at the end of the 1 minute of stoppage time that the referee is adding on, and that will do. Well, it's had a decent tempo about it. Loris Karius has made a really important save to deny Lucas Nemecha, and at the other end it's all been about Claudio Bravo denying Curtis Jones as well. Quavin Kelleher as well, the young man from Cork. Do you know he only started being a goalkeeper when he was 14? He's only turned to goalkeeping at 14. I found that out the other day. And he will get an opportunity in the second half. It's always good to see a young goalkeeper get a chance as well. Like huge Liverpool support, of course, in Ireland. We're desperate for him to do well. Not too many changes for Manchester City. They do have plenty of players, of course, that they can bring on in the second half. Both experienced and inexperienced. We are about to get underway. The touch paper hasn't quite been lit in this game. It's been, because it's been quite feisty at times. There's been a few little meaty tackles. It's had a bit of tempo about it. What we'd like to see, though, is some real goal-mouth action in the second period as James Milner gets us underway. I think we've both been impressed by the way that City and their youngsters have gone about their business so far.
It's been a good contest, in all fairness.
That's Sadio Mane's first touch. Solanke. Klein. Solanke again. Zinchenko is the defender. Mane. See, we are stepping up now, aren't we, with players starting to play longer and longer. First touch for Kelleher. So we'll see a little bit of game time, of course, at Blackburn Rovers. Amazing to think that it's only last week, that, isn't it? That's Harrison. feels Bernardo Silva is one of those that's come on for Manchester City. Left the picture there, number 20. High for Harrison. Confirmation of the Manchester City changes. Denaya, Diaz, Nemecha, Bravo, all off. So Claudio Gomez, who only officially became a Manchester City player today, been signed from Paris Saint-Germain, coming on. Bernardo Silva, Leroy Sané is on as well. Fabinho. So Ragnar Klavan is on for Liverpool as well. That's why Van Dijk's come over to play on the right-hand side of the central defenders. Zinchenko's now playing at left-back as well. A little rejig for Manchester City for the second half in formation. Milner. Lovely ball. Mane. Still got it. Still might bundle his way through, and that might end up in the back of the net. Cameron Humphreys did well to stretch. It was this way, that way. Nearly ended up defeating Joe Hart. Humphreys certainly had to help him out.
Well, it was a bit of a mishmash of chances there, really. It was a poor first touch by Sadio Mane. Had it been better, he certainly would have got a shot at goal, but as it was, he never gave it up.
Liverpool again, and Solanke tried to squeeze it past Hart at the near post.
Certainly a positive start to the second half. Tries to bundle his way through there. It's Humphreys that gets the clearance eventually.
It's Humphreys almost knocks it past his own goalkeeper, isn't it?
Didn't see the touch prior to that.
So Hart just had to have his wits about him there as well. Lively start to the second half. Oh. Jones. Challenge was fair by Bolton, so was that one by Robertson. Good old swinger from Humphreys.
Well, I know we're only 4 minutes into the second half, but there seems to be a little bit more intensity from Liverpool.
Solanke. Milner, lovely little drop of the shoulder, stands it up, looking for Woodburn. There are the Liverpool changes, which have probably worked out by now. It's the Who's gone off. First involvement for Gini Wijnaldum, which is why he's played 45 minutes, and those are the players that have come on. Klavan, it's his first touch. Robertson tries to stab the ball forward. That's another one where probably in the Premier League you get a free kick. It's closed down. The man making the challenge doesn't get the ball. Decent ball in behind, and the run is on. It's a lovely little step by Sané. Dealt with it. Leroy Sané certainly come out of Germany's bad World Cup well, hasn't he?
Sometimes you can become a better player without actually even kicking a ball.
Can he become a better player, given how good he was last season?
He was really good last season, but obviously not good enough for...
Lovely player to watch. It's just a little overhit for Woodburn. Nice idea by Solanke.
Yeah, I think young Dominic prefers that central position, doesn't he, as a striker? Saw him in the first half against Dortmund when he was playing wide left. Didn't quite suit the style of player that he is.
Bernardo Silva. That's a clean pair of heels. It's been shown for Fabinho and Sane. Brilliant save by Kelleher. He's done so well as the young man to get across and keep that out.
Well, wonderful save by the youngster. That will certainly fill him with a great deal of contest. Luke Bolton again using his pace to great effect. Fabinho really treading water here. It's a mismatch in the racing stakes. It's a lovely little square pass as well. And Sane obviously thinks it's just too easy to put it in the back of the net. He doesn't bank on the fact that the goalkeeper Kelleher gets right across there, makes a really, really good save.
It's a horrible one as well because he's so big and tall and those long legs. He just managed to get across and keep the ball out. Yes, the finish may be a little casual from Sane, but still took some saving. Harrison, who's just played the ball in behind Foden. Bernardo Silva. Bolton again. Mahrez. He's really caught the eye tonight, Luke Bolton. You say right-sided player for Manchester City, playing right back tonight. He has played further forward as well. This time with City. Zinchenko. Tidy again. Foden's very, very good at getting into those little areas where he seems to have a lot of space and can pick up the ball. Bernardo Silva towards Claudio Gomez. Mahrez still playing very, very deep for the majority of it.
Yeah, you just wonder if that's an indication of where Pep Guardiola thinks that he might be able to play from the start of the Premier League season.
Jones under pressure, but handled it well. Back towards Kelleher. Mane steps away well from Zinchenko. Klein. It's going to come to Sadio Mane. It's going to be a free kick. Rash from Claudio Gomez.
I don't think Gomez makes any sort of contact with Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane knows exactly what he's doing. He just toes the ball away, then just dives up in the air. No contact whatsoever.
It's a foul, wasn't it? You don't have to make contact anymore for it to be a foul.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm just explaining exactly what happened. I'm not saying it wasn't a foul.
Virgil van Dijk clearly fancies this. Mane and Woodburn walk away. Drew Robertson also fancies it as well. It is Van Dijk. That's clipped the end man on the wall. I wonder how close it would have been, but for that little touch off the defender. Ball did its job.
Like this Packer, good shot does the big centre back. Just takes a deflection off the wall, doesn't it? As you rightly say, the wall does its job.
Riyad Mahrez on the end. Robertson's take, lovely ball down. It comes to Solanke. It's not going to count. The flag was up against the young Englishman.
Well, really good from Man City, wasn't it? A little bit unfortunate from Liverpool's point of view, but they cleared the box really, really well. You know, so much is made about having players on the post in a situation like that. But there's a prime example of not having players on the post. You can get bodies out and you get caught offside from an attacking point of view.
Foden. Leroy Sané playing centrally again and running in behind Van Dijk, and maybe this time he can find a way through. He can. Slick from Leroy Sané, just that electric pace took him away from the Liverpool back four, and he makes no mistake in putting the ball past Kelleher this time. Manchester City in front.
Well, it's good movement, it's good passing, it's the pace of Sané that really causes the problem. A little give and go here. Just see there, Virgil van Dijk just gets squared up a little bit. Can't get going quick enough. Sané, we saw him miss that chance earlier on. He's not going to squander two in a row. Kelleher can do nothing about it.
Manchester City in front. Should have led a little earlier when Sané was denied by a brilliant Kelleher save, but not this time. Just moments after Liverpool thought they had scored at one end, Manchester City score at the other. Jones will chase, Zinchenko is the cover. He's off on the chase again this time. Van Dijk has plenty of time. Klavan for Jones. Jones looking for Mane. Zinchenko covering again. Garcia, Zinchenko, Harrison, Sané goes again, not this time. Well, it gives Pep Guardiola another option, doesn't it, him playing through the middle.
Well, it's the pace that it has and the ability to make runs in behind, a bit like how Sadio Mane has done here.
Garcia just did enough to close off the run of Sadio Mane. Harrison was well patient and picked out the pass for Bernardo Silva. It's a lovely step by Riyad Mahrez. There is support again on the strike. A bit of a slash from Bolton that time.
Well, it's a good ball, isn't it? Good movement from Sané. So you get a start on you as a defender, you're not going to catch him.
Seeing that, of course, again means that we didn't actually get the chance to see Dominic Solanke's goal that was chalked off for offside. Jumpers off, means business now. Liverpool are about to make a lot of changes. It's coming in a moment. Here's Jones, second bite of the cherry. Lovely little ball. Milner just trying to catch out his great friend Joe Hart.
Sadio Mane would have certainly been offside. Dominic Solanke wasn't.
Well, here comes the man. Listen to the reception from Mohamed Salah in New York. Back and raring to go.
think that's what the people have come to see, isn't it? Liverpool make a host of substitutions.
Sadio Mane shifts over to the left and Salah on the right. Dominic Solanke through the middle. See Rafa Camacho on as well. Along with Nat Phillips. Let's come on for Van Dijk. Well, here is Salah. This is his first touch. Got to get used to this pitch being so lively. Rafa Camacho. Oh, Salah's there! He's back, and he's scoring already. Seconds after coming on, Mohamed Salah re-announces himself.
That was only his second touch. What took him so long to score? Unbelievable stuff. But all credit to young Camacho. Showed great composure. Realised that he couldn't get on the outside here. Comes back in the inside. Whips in a lovely ball. Questions whether he was offside or not, but referee's assistant doesn't give it. And it's all about the ability to be able to finish. We saw it last season. Could finish with his left foot, his head, his right foot. Can do anything, this boy. Joe Hart from that sort of distance got absolutely no chance whatsoever. Liverpool back on level terms.
Scoring goals again. A record breaker of last year. It's a relatively simple one. Yes, it is probably offside.
Lovely ball in though. Okay. Macho, really good ball in. You have to anticipate that as well. The anticipation, that's what great goal scorers are all about. Michael Owen had that ability. Anticipation of where the ball was going to go. Be first to react.
Here's Solanke. Mane goes now. Mane gathers now. The defender does well. It's a good piece of defending. Tossing Adebayo.
I think we've got a bit of a game on our hands now, John.
What we do have now is two very potent men up front for Liverpool. Bernardo Silva certainly looked towards the referee when Moreno's challenge was made and won the free kick.
Well, it's a free kick all day long, wasn't it? I think Alberto Moreno knew that Silva maybe had just got the better of him. Make the contact outside the box as opposed to inside. There's a good opportunity for Man City. He has got good delivery as Mahrez.
Mahrez with the free kick. Kelleher with a comfortable take. Young Irishman wanting to get the ball moving quickly. There's everyone who's made way for Liverpool. And those that have come on include Liverpool's number 11. Mohamed Salah has already scored. Adebayo. This has just switched over to the left-hand side now with Adebayo coming on. Just Zinchenko and Harrison making way. That's while we were waiting for the game to restart after the goal. Patrick Roberts on as well. He's had a good loan spell up at Celtic. Bernardo Silva's one of those players that glides with the football as well, isn't he? Makes it look easy at times. Teammate, of course, of Fabinho's at Monaco. Here's Moreno. It will come to Sadio Mane. And Mane's cross, and Salah's there again. And very nearly with touch number 3, he had his second goal. Cameron Humphreys did really well to get in the way.
A really good pick out by Sadio Mane to pick out his mate at the far post, Salah. And it's a decent header, isn't it? Humphreys does exceptionally well because he gets his body turned back around to face the ball, face the play, and just anticipates a header from Salah.
It was 52 seconds between coming on and scoring with his second touch. Here he is again. Bolton half away. What it does is his return. It's a lovely ball. Oh, Salah's in again. And Mohamed Salah doesn't score this time. Beat the goalkeeper but couldn't keep it under the crossbar. Pre-season has just stepped up a massive notch here, hasn't it?
Well, again, Man City, they come out but they don't pick up as they come out. And you just expect them to wait for the goalkeeper, Joe Hart, to go down. It does that. In fact, I think it might just clip the top of Joe Hart's head. But it just lifts it up and hits the top of the crossbar and goes over the crossbar. You'd have bet out of anything that you wanted that he was going to hit the target and score there.
Could have had a hat-trick.
Out of 4 touches, I think that is as well.
He'll be annoyed at himself for not scoring that one. The last header was very well blocked by Humphreys. Foden with the flick. This is Roberts. Foden's giving it away. It's Woodburn, Chidivea. I haven't seen Chidivea or Marco Grujic in the middle of midfield since they came on. Marco Grujic's first involvement, but will be somewhat overshadowed by the return of Mane and Salah. Cheeky from Hart, very lucky from Hart as well because it was a little under hit.
I'm not sure he would be doing that in Premier League football, was it? He got away with it. Who said he couldn't play with the ball at his feet?
Solanke couldn't half get hold of that, but Joe Hart was relieved it was straight at him.
Really good positive strike by Solanke, straight down the throat of the goalkeeper. Certainly been far more goal-mouth incidents in the second half than we saw in the first 45.
It's take by Phillips. Looks like the last 20 minutes here could be very worth watching. Could be very, very deep. Phillips allowed to advance very high up the field. Phillips could have got it right. Rafa Camacho was in there. It worked out really well because Salah had come deep and created the space. Camacho had made the run, but Phillips didn't get the pass right.
Well, the idea was spot on, wasn't it? The outside of the right foot, just the weight of the pass was certainly overhit.
Moreno, Mane. Chase for Salah. It's always running away from him. Was able to head off and relax after, I think it's probably fair to say, a difficult World Cup for him. Didn't seem entirely right from our outsider's point of view in the Egypt camp, and the fact that they were based in Grozny in Chechnya as well, and Ramzan Kadyrov, the political leader of Chechnya, turned up at the team hotel and was parading around with Salah. It strikes me that Mohamed Salah just wants to play football, and he does hold very strong views, but ultimately he just wants to play football. That's Foden. Camacho, Phillips, Tidy, under a little bit of pressure and worked his way out well, the youngster. Mane. It's really nice. Greach. Liverpool want to take it quickly. The referee wanted to have a word with Bernardo Silva first.
Well, he does well, Greach, because you can just see Bernardo Silva coming across him, and he just makes the effort to get across him first. So he gets his body in between him and the ball, draws the foul, does exceptionally well.
Here's Klavan. Greach. Shoveling the ball out to Mane. Turns Bolton one way, then the other. Greach gets it all wrong with a shot.
Well, certainly the introduction of Mane and certainly Salah have livened this game up. Mane on the far side that really creates this opportunity. Just gets it all wrong, Gruitch. He just leans back, scoops it up with his left foot high over the crossbar.
Joe Hart will take some water on because Manchester City are making another couple of changes here. I mentioned many of their young squad that have travelled with them for these games. This is Tombées Bashiru, one of the youngsters who signed a 4-year deal a couple of years ago, and Riyad Mahrez's work for the day is done. As well is the other who has come on. We go up to 91 with their squad numbers on the bench today, Manchester City. Brilliant from Mane. Defender will get across and cover. It's Garcia.
It's his job, and Garcia, the central for the three centre-backs, read the situation, anticipate the danger if any mistakes are made. Did that exceptionally well because Mane was certainly away.
That's for Rafa Camacho. Gare was in the way. Straight at Deli Bashiru. Just overdid it a little. He's just arrived. It's a little stray of Chirivella. And here's Sane. And he lit up the game when he first came on. Going to be comfortable for Kelleher. Salah, Camacho. Touch was aimed towards Salah from Woodburn.
Certainly looked sharp since coming on, Mo Salah.
Rafa Camacho, Salah. Solanke, ball against him, just kicked up off the turf, all goodly for him. See what happens with Joe Hart this year, given that loan spell last year where he wasn't first choice in the end, was he really, at West Ham? Could have actually gone back to City, then joined Newcastle in January, but West Ham wanted to keep him on loan, even though Adrian was playing most of the games. It's given away by Sane. Liverpool just almost lose it, but tidied up by Marco Grujic. Got it. Argentinian. Monty Rao when he joined City. Reached the card of arbitration for sport. He turned 18 a couple of weeks ago. He stepped away from Camacho there. Grujic trying to tidy up. Foden. That's a little careless by Gomez. And here's Salah. Got a lot to do on his own here. He is waiting for support as it arrives from Solanke. And Cameron Humphreys just stuck out a leg. And Solanke went over it.
It's a counter-attack that is a little bit outnumbered. Salah, Mane and Solanke were trying to get up to support him, and eventually he does get up there. Dominic Solanke draws the foul. Not sure it was, to be honest with you.
Well, last time Liverpool had a free kick in this position, Virgil van Dijk took it. But the only goal missing of his repertoire last season. Now Salah with the free kick, he doesn't get that one right. But the only goal missing of his repertoire last season. Now Salah with the free kick, he doesn't get that one right.
Well, I can't do everything, I suppose, but doesn't get that one right at all. It's a little bit underneath it. Gets the swerve on it, but way too high.
Mane and Salah have both returned tonight and both looked very sharp. It's been noticeable. Kiri joined up with the squad as well this week. He'll want to be part of it as well, won't he? Working hard in training. Bayo headed that straight against Grujic. He was somewhat fortunate that it looped up towards Humphries. Claudio Gomez. Patrick Roberts trying to choose the old way of beating Moreno, putting the ball one way, running around the other. Got to be quick to do that. Pass for Mane wasn't good enough from Ben Woodburn. Humphries had it by Gomez. Celui who pulled the ball down, and Bernardo Silva then pulled him down. Woodburn. Phillips. Camacho. Phillips just wanted a little too much time, and that's one thing that you can't afford to do when Leroy Sané's around. These real Category A players that are on tonight, the likes of Sané and Salah and Mane.
Yeah, I think that's how you react to that mistake. They made a mistake, Phillips, but he reacted well to it.
Dele Bashiru offside. Liverpool wanting to get on with it already, and Mane twinkle toeing it, and Salah runs in behind, and Joe Hart saw the danger really, really well. And he was fully stretched there. He was the former England goalkeeper.
Did well, because it's a lovely little pass, isn't it? If he doesn't have a good start position, Joe Hart's second best on that occasion. Because he's got a good start position, he makes it his.
Salah. A little running behind Salah's ball. It's just a little too heavy. Flag was up anyway against Alberto Moreno. And he's got a long run back now. This is via closing Bernardo Silva down.
It will go straight into penalties, won't it?
Might not get that. Marco Grujic was pulled by Claudio Gomez, who's had a rough introduction to life at Manchester City tonight. The 18-year-old signed from Paris Saint-Germain.
Well, he just picks his pocket, doesn't he, Grujic? He reads the situation, nips in front of him, takes the ball, and he nearly just grabs the shots off him. Gomez.
Well, Liverpool were stung very late by Borussia Dortmund in Charlotte a few nights ago. They're looking to sting Manchester City late. Chirivella with the delivery. Adebayo gets the ball away. Chirivella. Camacho. Salah hovering. Camacho uses him as the decoy. Quite able to deliver across where he wanted it. Chirivella. He dissected three Liverpool players. It's another good charge down. And here's Salah. Humphries the defender. Salah looking far post. Man arriving was Mane. Just doesn't get the finish right.
Well, again, you can just see the fear and trepidation that Salah puts in defenders. He just gets that little bit extra space. It's a lovely little floated pass to the far post. Mane just doesn't quite execute the shot on target. Gets it a little bit too much on the inside of his left foot.
Well, they're right at it from word go on Mane and Salah. Greach. Salah wanted to find Mane again but didn't get it right. Manchester City, who looked really strong at the start of the second half, and really now for 20 minutes Liverpool have given them a bit of a going over. Salah, Solanke, Mane to win the game, and he's gone too far around Joe Hart and is unable to turn it into the back of the net.
Well, wonderful intricate build-up from Liverpool on the edge of Man City's 18-yard box. I just thought that he might dink the goalkeeper. Certainly if Salah had been in this position, he would have just lifted it over the advancing Joe Hart. He doesn't do that. Mane takes it round the goalkeeper, and that touch has to be a lot bit better. The first one just takes it too wide of the goalkeeper, takes it too wide of the goals, gives himself an impossible angle to get it back on target.
It's been chance after chance after chance for Liverpool in the last 10-15 minutes. Found the final piece of the jigsaw. So that in the building of it has taken on quite the pattern. Noticeable how Ben Woodburn has been really responsible for starting the press for Liverpool and winning many of the balls that have led to them creating chances. It's looking for another, but it's meat and drink for Joe Hart. And Liverpool again, it's another free kick. Woodburn again.
Yeah, he's done exceptionally well since he's come on, the young man. I think he's certainly matured and a lot more physically stronger and quicker. Got a different outfit in the second half, Liverpool, from an attack-wise anyway.
Mane, well read by Adebayo. Camacho will go back towards Naveen Kelleher. By Chilivea. Mane takes it in his stride, on it goes again, and Moreno, that's a really good hook away by Humphries. And Manchester City really are under the cosh here.
Well, every time Liverpool going forward at this moment in time, they look as if they're going to carve an opening. Lovely, lovely play down that left-hand side. Alberto Moreno was a little bit unselfish there. The idea was right to square it to Mohamed Salah. I thought he might have just taken a shot himself, though, the Spanish fullback.
Salah. And towards Camacho. There's his ball, headed away well by Garcia. Greach. Now Moreno. Time added on already. It's flown by, hasn't it, the last 20-25 minutes. Liverpool are looking for a winner. If not, of course it goes to penalties, just like the last time they played.
They're certainly finishing the stronger of the two sides, without any shadow of a doubt.
Solanke wouldn't fall for him to find either Salah or Mane. Humphries, he's come out of this really well. Looked good tonight, the youngster.
Played the whole game as well, hasn't he?
Along with Garcia. Phillips just switched off for a moment, and Sane didn't need asking twice. Ball goes Liverpool's way. Klavan. Awkward looking from Adebayo. Big tall, right, rangy centre halves.
It was the right place to put it though, wasn't it?
Great. Can Liverpool fashion one more opportunity? Salah. It's going to come towards Mohamed Salah again. And the referee is going to give a penalty here. Well, Liverpool might not need penalties in total to win it. They're going to get a penalty right in the last minute. Dominic Solanke taken out. Manchester City's players complain.
Well, I didn't see too much wrong with it, to be honest with you. I thought he might have been offside. There's a coming together, isn't it? A barge in the back, but I think it's a soft one.
When he doesn't win the ball and the arm in the back goes in, it's not as soft as the one that Liverpool conceded against Dortmund the other night. And so in the final minute of stoppage time, Joe Hart is going to try to take us to penalties by saving a penalty.
I noticed that Sadio Mane made a beeline for the ball. Whether he'll take it or not, I can see why the referee's given it, but
well, it could well be the last kick of the game. Joe Hart actually walked off towards the halfway line and was having a chat and a drink. And he's now being shoved back towards his own goal. A little bit of gamesmanship. Cameras out. Everyone ready. Sadio Mane to win it for Liverpool. And does. Liverpool have a deserved win against Manchester City in New York. Sadio Mane applies the finishing touch. You have to say Liverpool have given Manchester City one heck of a going over in the last half hour.
Yeah, they've been exceptionally good. Most of the second half, to be honest with you, but certainly since Mane and Salah have combined up front, they really have looked dangerous. Every time they attack, they look as if they're going to open up Manchester City, which is a little bit unfair maybe in Manchester City, because it's certainly not the strongest starting 11 normally. It's certainly the guys that have come on as well. But Liverpool have really been impressive in the second half. It's been more like the Liverpool we saw last season.
Well, it was a game that was a little limited on goalmouth action in the first half. And we said at half-time, hopefully the second half will have plenty more. Certainly has had plenty more. Liverpool have just gone at Manchester City down both sides, and following Mohamed Salah's goal 52 seconds after coming on, they've had chance after chance, and eventually from the spot, Sadio Mane.
Well, so often seeing pre-season games that the number of changes that are made at half-time and in the second half really spoil the game, but it certainly made it like a really entertaining game. I think the players that have come on have certainly played their part.
Well, Liverpool was stung late in stoppage time by Borussia Dortmund the other day. It shouldn't be time for them to get stung tonight by Manchester City. Liverpool do have a dramatic late victory. The return of Salah and Mane putting Liverpool back on track. Mane from the spot, Salah scoring as soon as he came on. That after Manchester City had started the second half really brightly and Leroy Sane had put them in front. But it was a different game once Salah and Mane were on the field together. And Liverpool have got themselves a deserved win in New York. Manchester City 1, Liverpool too.
Too far, it's a goal!
Winning the FA Cup at the time was fantastic.
It just meant so much to so many people. When we look back on it, and fans look back on it, yeah, I think they will say that was the greatest time as well.